of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu Cree, and the Dakota peoples and the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nations in Treaty 3 territory. Our panel members today are Val Wirhan and myself, Marcel Larondo. I'll be chairing. Our assessment department today is Matthew Shields, and Jaswinder Kumar is our administrative personnel. We will be hearing applications for revision of business assessment roles in accordance with the Municipal Act and the City of Winnipeg Charter. The matters of which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit the discussions to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and when speaking to the matter must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessment of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decision with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to an application of exemption from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the Board order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We'll then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after the applications have been heard, and the Board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the Board's decisions by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We'll be hearing items 1 through 8 on our docket today. Mr. Kumar, please affirm the assessor and the applicant's testimony.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Assessor, please state your full name.
Matthew Shields.
Thank you. Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Justin Sidney Johnstone.
Thank you. Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I so do affirm.
Thank you.
Justin, if you can read on the file, please. And this is all to value.
It'll be Matthew, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, that's what I said, Matthew, right? Didn't I
You
say
said
Matthew?
Justin, but it's okay.
Okay, thank you. So it is file number 22-4784 for the roll year of 2023, address 183 Marion Street, business assessment ID 2887. The total annual rental value is $49,440. Premise area of 2,400 square feet for an overall ARV per square foot of $20.60. Below that, you can see the breakdown of how that annual rental value is calculated. Underneath that, you can see the comparable rents that I've used for this property. The first 3 comparables are 7-Eleven locations, which is the same as the subject, and the bottom 2 are Circle K locations, which all 5 are convenience stores. The average reported rent per square foot of those comparables is $23.93, which is about almost $4 or $3 and change higher than what we have it currently assessed at. And then after that, you can see some photos of the subject property and the comparables listed, and the photos are in order as they for the comparables are in order as they appear on my comparables list there. And that is my presentation.
Justin, do you have any questions?
Just looking at the lease start dates, Mr. Assessor, do you know if there's any step ups or any other inducements involved with those leases that you've presented as comparable properties?
I know they're reported to us as net leases, but I don't know off the top of my head or have that in front of me if there's step ups involved.
Okay, I don't, and the difference of neighborhoods, what would you say are your comparables in better neighborhoods, similar neighborhoods?
There would be probably across the board. There's some in better, certainly some in worse. The one that's listed at 126 Isabel, that's Isabel and William Street, I believe is the cross street, which I would consider that probably one of the least desirable locations you could probably have in the city of Winnipeg. And something like the 1103 Pembina, which is a newer location, is probably a more desirable location. And comparably, would be the Kildare or the St. Mary's location, which would be kind of in the middle.
Perfect. Awesome. I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Val, do you have any questions?
Not at this time, thank you.
Ryan, on with your presentation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As I don't want to delay these proceedings further, I will just really jump to the last page of our report. I'm sure that the members of the board have already reviewed the report in advance. We took a look at a few 7-Elevens that we actually had lease rates for. I do know that there are three properties that are in there that do contain gas pumps. That would be 120 Keewatin, 1622 St. Mary's, and 1091 Henderson Highway. But if we actually look at what the actual lease rate is versus what is being predicted by the assessor's model, we can see that there's a median variance of 23% pertaining to the increase versus what they're actually achieving at their lease rates. The term lease rate or the term start dates are within the chart there. You can browse at your own perusal. We reviewed the median of all the properties and the average that's averaging out at 1969 per square foot. Its median is 1711, and the median rate for lease rates commencing in 2016 to 2021 is $16.41. I don't think me and the assessor are too far off here. I believe the assessor's at $18 a square foot, and we are actually recommending $17 a square foot based on the median of all the properties and the median rate of the leases commencing in 2016 through 2021. And that is my presentation. Thank you.
Matthew, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Val, do you have any questions?
Nope, I don't, thank you.
Anything in summation, gentlemen?
No, sir.
Nope.
Thank you very much. That concludes that matter. We'll move on to item number 2, which will be 568 Osborne. Give us 1 second to get the files up. And when you are ready, Matthew.
So this is file number 22-4796 for the roll year of 2023, address 568 Osborne Street, business assessment ID 23959. The annual rental value is $44,580 for a premise area of 2,100 square feet with an overall ARV per square foot of $21.23. Below that, you can see the breakdown of how that overall annual rental value is calculated. underneath that is a subject lease information on the property, which has it at $15.71. But upon review of this, the owner of the property who submitted this did not provide any other details that was given to us other than just the base rent rate. They left everything else blank. So it's just included for reference, but I can't really put any weight on that as they didn't expand on that information when they gave it to us. And then below that is my rent comparables, which are the same used on the previous property that have an average reported net rent of $23.93. And then again, following that is pictures of the subject property and the comparables. And that is my presentation.
Thank you. Justin, any questions?
No, sir, no questions.
Val, any questions?
None, thank you.
And I've got no questions. So we'll move on to your presentation, Justin.
Thank you, sir. Carrying everything forward from previous conversations as previously noted, 120, 1622, 1091 Henderson are all with gas pumps. Again, we've used the same comparables similar to Mr. Assessor. The average and median 1969 and 1711 hasn't really changed much. Based on our information, and I know Mr. Assessor said that it wasn't really expanded on, but based on our information, the subject lease expired in October 2021 at 1571, or yeah, at 1571. So we considered that probably the best evidence of market value because that was the actual lease rate when the term expired in October of 2021. But again, you can see our math there, 1641. There's a variance of roughly 16% between the actual lease rate being achieved on the property and the $18.73 that's being apportioned by the model. Outside of that, I have no further comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Matthew, any questions?
I guess it's just on the subject lease. I guess you said that it's the best indication of value because that's, I guess, through the reference period. But do you have any other information on that specific lease then that would say that it's, I guess, a net lease or any other things that are involved in that? Because they didn't provide that information to us.
And I can appreciate that, and I understand. Sometimes owners don't like to disclose some information. From my understanding, that's a net lease, is from my understanding based on the information that we got from our client, which is 7-Eleven. And if yourself and myself, we can talk off camera about moving forward. But to the information that was been provided to us by our client, it is a net lease.
Okay.
Is that it, Matthew?
Yes, sorry, yes, that's it.
Val, any questions?
Nope, thank you.
The location on this one, this is on Osborne. Is this that smaller lot? I'm trying to figure it out here.
Is it the smaller lot?
This one, you can't egress onto Osborne. You got to egress onto the side street to get out of there.
Yeah, I don't think the entrance is on Osborne. I think it's like to pull in the parking lot. I think it's technically right off the corner, but it's the connecting street there. Yes, I think.
Yeah.
Well, there is an entrance off of Osborne, but you can't go out back onto Osborne.
Sorry,
You
yes,
can only egress onto the side street, I do believe. It shows it. Well, it partially shows it in the one picture.
Yeah,
correct.
It's kind of angled in a way where you probably shouldn't use it as an exit.
Yeah. Well, you can't. There's a sign that says you can't.
Yeah.
Do you, is the lot the same size as all the ones in your comparables?
I don't believe they would be the exact same size, no.
Similarly for me, Mr. Chair, they're not the exact same size, no.
Yeah.
There's a variance in all lot sizes generally. It's hard to find a convenience store that has the exact same lot size.
The 7-Elevens, I would say, and most convenience stores, their lots vary pretty greatly, because, I mean, 50 years ago, some of them had gas pumps and they've been taken out, so they have a lot of extra space where the pumps used to be, or another business was there, so the lots vary pretty greatly.
Yeah, I think this one used to have a gas pump, did it not? Back in the beginning?
That one I'm not sure if it did back in the day.
By
Okay.
looking at it, I could assume that there might have been gas pumps there. Looking at the lot size, it looks like there might have been some pumps there in the middle.
Okay, I've got no further questions. Anything in summation, gentlemen?
No, sir.
I don't know.
Nothing? Okay. We'll move on to item number 3. Give me 1 second to get it open. It's going to take us longer to open and do the files. Item number 3, this one. My computer's running a little slow this morning. It's tagging me, I think. We're dealing with 1445 Corden Avenue. Matthew, when you are ready.
Thank you. So it is file number 22-4775 for the roll year of 2023. Address 1445 Corden Avenue. Business assessment ID 18957. And the annual rental value is 73,320. Total area premise of 2,400 square feet for an overall ARV per square foot of $30.55. I do have a recommendation to reduce the assessment. So the recommendation is to reduce the assessment from the 73,320 to 57,600. And this is based on a base rent of $21.50 plus occupancy costs, which would equal a total ARV per square foot of $24, which is in line with the comparables that I've used for this property, which average out to $23.93, so rounded to $24.
Ryan, are you happy with that number?
If you give me 1 minute. It's a little bit higher than what we're predicting, but I believe that's acceptable to me. Thank you, Mr. Assessor, for the consideration.
Okay. Val, do you have any questions?
I'm sorry, did I miss what it changes the base rent?
Yes, to 2150.
Yeah, 2150.
Okay, thank you so much. I missed that.
Overall.
Thank you. That's it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Ryan is okay. Number 4 is going to be 781 Corden Avenue. Let's get down and get it. Come on. Matthew, when you are ready.
Okay, so
781 Gordon.
yeah, thank you. So it's file number 22-4789, the roll year of 2023. Address 781 Corden Avenue. Business assessment ID 18861 with an annual rental value of $46,560. Total premise area of 2,100 square feet. Overall ARV per square foot of $22.17. Below that, you can see the breakdown of how that is calculated. Underneath that is subject lease information that was included because it was provided to us through the income and expense mailers from the owner. But as you can see, it's a gross rent at $5.70 per square foot. So it's not really, we didn't really put any weight on that lease, but it was included because it was information provided to us about the property. And underneath that is the rent comparables. Again, the same ones used as the previous property, which average $23.93 per square foot, which is on average higher than the overall ARV per square foot of the subject property. And then after that, again, is a photo of the subject property and the comparables. And that is my presentation.
Justin, any questions?
I only have one quick question just because I don't know how you guys do it here. If you've been provided a gross rent, how would you equate that to a net rent?
It's just like, how would we equate it to a net rent?
Yeah, so like, is there a formula that you would use to increase the rent per square foot to determine a net rent, or do you just?
It depends. We wouldn't, like, if they report it to us as gross, it's not included for our analysis.
Okay.
I mean, you could go in and do the calculation, but that depends on the information they've given us. I
Okay,
didn't go in and see that, like, specifically, but it's would have to be done based on what they give us. And I don't specifically know the information that they actually provided, just that it was gross and it was $5.70.
No, that's perfect. I just wanted to understand because I'm somewhat new to your jurisdiction. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Val, any questions?
Nope, I'm good, thank you.
So the reported rent was $5.70. Why would it be so low as a gross rent? They've taken off all of.
I mean, I don't specifically know what the agreement had in it. I didn't look into it in depth, but there could be a number of things. They could be paying percentage rents on top, or could be a land lease or something. I'm not totally sure. It wasn't included for our analysis as part of using it for comparables, but it was just included for reference.
And they can also take a larger percentage, I guess, of profits, correct?
Yeah, it's possible that could be an agreement that this location has. Possible.
Yeah, we'll see what Ryan has to say. Okay, Ryan, on with your presentation.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just pulling everything forward from the last few matters. Again, last page, same comparables, same three that have gas pumps. Our recommendation is to lower the rent per square foot to roughly $17 per square foot, which is supported by the overall median and the median rate commencing as of 2016 and 2021. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Matthew, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Val, any questions?
None, thank you.
I guess I might as well ask you the question here, Ryan. Why are you going to the median instead of the average?
The median, we weighed out the median. It's just the way that it's always been done, I suppose, is that it provides more data If we, because your average is eliminating various price points, right? Whereas the median will take the range of all the numbers, no matter if it's higher or lower or whatnot, and it will calculate a number closer to what we believe it could be.
So now, is this one of those that they own, or one of those that they rent?
They rent.
They rent this one. And their rent was $560. How did they come up with that $560 originally?
I was not party to the lease negotiations, and I don't actually have a copy of this lease, unfortunately. So I wouldn't be able to tell you how they derived that gross rent. It could just be a base rent with other add-ons. Like that would be my assumption.
Actually, you included the lease.
Did we include the lease on this property?
I think you did. On your second sheet,
yes, I did.
not on the one.
There's just so many of these, sir. I can't keep them all straight in my brain.
I just don't want you to miss anything, and it's you supplied it, so.
Yeah, there's probably tenant inducements is probably what my understanding of it is.
Yeah, they're not explaining that though. Takes a minute to read it.
Let me just
yeah, because they're showing monthly rents of $6,500 and $7,000 here at the end for 18 of 60 monthly rent of $6,500. Correct?
Yeah. 6,500 from 13 to 18, and then 7,000 18 to 23.
Yeah, but that's post, so. So what's your yearly at that rate?
21. $78,000, give or take, would be your yearly.
These numbers looking pretty good, isn't
Yeah. I mean, no lower.
But you supplied the evidence, correct?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I just wanted to bring it to your attention, Ryan. That's all. I'm not being nasty or anything here.
Oh no, I know, I get it totally. Because if we look at it, it's yeah, hold on. Let me just look at this real quick. $3 a square foot, roughly.
I think we'll leave this one alone.
Oh, that sounds great. Let's move on to the next one.
Okay, so that'll anything in summation, gentlemen?
No, I think you summarized it's good enough for me.
No, sir.
Okay, let's move on to item number 5. Sorry about that. And by the way, Ryan, you supplied one with each one of your properties.
Yeah. I'm seeing that.
In the document, was it all the subject properties? Like I skimmed them, but I noticed some of them were for your comparables. And then some of them I couldn't find an address. They were just the store number, which that didn't really
you.
help on determining which that was actually for.
Yeah.
Why don't you go into the, yeah, I won't tell you how. Item number 5, we're dealing with 1490 Pembina. When you are ready, Matthew.
So this is file number 22-4785 for the roll year of 2023, address 1490 Pembina Highway, business assessment ID 888. The total annual rental value is $49,020 with a premise area of 2,100 square feet for an overall ARV per square foot of $23.34. And below that, you can see how that is calculated. Again, underneath that is similar to the previous property of a gross rent reported at $5.74. And then underneath that, again, is the same rent comparables that I have previously used, which average out to $23.93, which is almost exactly the rate in which is applied to the subject property. And then following that, again, is a picture of the subject property and the comparables. And that is my presentation.
Ryan, any questions?
No, sir, no questions.
Val, any questions?
Nope, thank you.
Ryan, on with your presentation.
Moving everything forward, based on our review of the comparables provided, we feel that a rental rate of $17 per square foot is more in tune with the subject's value than what's being reported by the assessor at $20.84. Thank you.
Matthew, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Val, any questions?
None, thanks.
So if we're looking at the actuals on this one, Ryan, it's 41,650, and then you add your costs. Correct?
Yes, sir.
That would have been the actual. So 4160 plus we're getting pretty close to the city's number. Am I correct?
Yes, sir, you are correct.
I've got no further questions. Anything in summation?
No, sir.
No.
No? Okay. We'll move on to item number 6. Just rattling along here. Come on. Spoke too quickly. 1, 2. Item number 6. When you are ready, Matthew.
Thank you. So this is file number 22-4790 for the roll year of 2023, address 909 Lorette Avenue, business assessment ID 22217. The total annual rental value is $46,380. The total premise area is 2,100 square feet for an overall ARV per square foot of $22.09. Below that, you can see how that annual rental value is calculated. And then underneath That is the subject lease information. And that is again, like the previous property, a gross rent at $5.66 per square foot. And then underneath that is again, the same rent comparables that are used in the previous properties that average up to $23.93. And then after that is again, the picture of the subject property and picture of the comparables. And that is my presentation.
Matthew, your sheet says 40,620 on the annual rent value on your calculation.
Yes, it does.
You notice the error?
I do see that, yes.
Is that the recommendation or what?
No, I honestly, I don't know why they are different.
But the information you're giving us there is what?
This is what's in our system. So why it's spitting out two different numbers, I'm not sure.
Okay, but what was the number that was appealed, Jazz?
It'll be 46,380.
Yeah.
And yet you're showing 40,620 on your calculation.
On the calculation, yes.
I'll accept that number.
It looks like it might be a wreck here, Matthew.
I was thinking, I know that this property wasn't appealed, so it's nothing to do with a realty appeal.
Yeah.
That could have been done. That could just be an error on somebody that had something that had been changed in there and as for some reason and it affected that value. But I mean, for all intents and purposes, my methodology behind it was based on the amount that was appealed.
So, but I'm just saying your methodology wasn't repeated here, was it? So give me the numbers on your methodology.
Well, the amount of occupancy cost would be the same. It would just be, which is applied consistently as $2.50 per square foot. So it's just total ARV value minus $2.50 would be the base ARV per square or base rent per square foot.
So, you had the base rent here at 1683.
That's part of the calculation that seems to be some sort of error in which that was generated.
I was gonna say I'm only asking for 43 cents off on this one if you're at 1683.
You were asking for what number?
1640.
I didn't see yours here yet. You guys understand our quandary here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Well, Val, while I'm looking, do you have any questions? Or Ryan, do you have any questions while I'm looking?
No, sir. I do not have any questions. I'm just doing some quick math here myself.
Okay. Val, do you have any questions?
No, I was going to ask about the difference in that too, Mr. Chair, but you brought it up. Thank you, sir.
$40,620. But all the numbers work out correctly.
Yeah, that's what I was just running to, was the numbers on his subject line.
They would add up, yes, because something, I'm assuming if there was an error, like it would have affected the base rent per square foot. So the calculation would be correct. like on that line. But I'm saying that the amount that would be appealed would be, is the $22.09 per square foot as the total amount per, but the base ARV that would have been calculated on would be that number minus $2.50. So
So
1959, I guess.
I'm just looking at
I
our
don't-
real quick, sorry, Mr. Chair, and we pulled the business assessment roll number, which is 40,620
Yeah,
From the website, from the city's website.
from the city's website.
Yeah, so that website updates like at the end of any business day, basically. So if it's
roll
in there,
number
it would have
right
been
now is showing.
updated.
But I don't see your $22 in here is what I'm saying.
It, on the line underneath where the subject information is, with the total annual rental value of 46,380. With 2,100 square feet and the overall ARV of 2,209.
Yeah, I see that.
Because that's pulling what was appealed.
Mm-hmm. And then you put in 2,100 at base ARV 30 at 35,000 because it was 1,683.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what our system generated. I guess something was changed in the system after this was appealed, but I didn't catch that error, and I don't know what that is a result of, because I know the property it didn't go to hearing, so sometimes that happens if there's been a board decision on the realty or something, but I know that's not the case for this property, so I don't have an answer as to why it's different in front of me.
Okay, well, I think I might need a few minutes here, so I'm just going to. So first, Ryan, have you got anything else you want to present on this?
No, just that based on our review, based on our review, our opinion is $16.40. But if it's at 16.83, I'll accept that.
No, he's saying it. But gentlemen, I'm going to ask for a recess here for a minute so we can have a discussion, and I'll be back to you shortly. Okay?
Absolutely.
I'll try not to be. We'll call you back when we have something to deal with on it. Everybody's here? Okay. Okay, so we've heard from both the appellant and the city on this one. We just had one question that we'd like to ask you to explain to Val. This is are you aware of the logarithms that is used when they're creating this?
Like, what do you mean?
In the computer model? Because if you add them all up, they don't come up to even the 40,620. It comes out to the 40,593. Now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was explained to me that somehow within the logarithms of the new program, it's rounding up the numbers before we come to the end, and then it ends up being rounded out again.
I'm not sure at what point it rounds, but I do know the final values are rounded to, I believe it's nearest whole number or 5 or denomination of 5 at the end. I'm not sure, but yes, there is rounding involved for the purposes of coming to a more even number.
But it seems like the program is actually starting to round numbers off prior to the additions, correct?
I mean, based on what you're saying, it does seem that way, but I can't definitively say when that happens behind the scenes. I don't see the inner workings of how the calculations are done in the computer system.
Yeah, I think the computer just wants you guys to do it manually after to double check the work he did.
Yes, yeah, it seems that way on this one specifically.
Okay, we'll leave it at that, gentlemen. We'll deal with it after, and we're going to move on to item number 7. as soon as we get it up. Should have done that while we were on break. Matthew, when you are ready, we're dealing with the property on 3031 Ness.
Yes, thank you. So it is file number 22-4766 for the roll year of 2023. Address 3031 Ness Avenue, business assessment ID 4659, for a total annual rental value of $87,060, with the premise square feet of 2,715 square feet, and a overall ARV per square foot of $32.07. Below that, you can see how that is calculated, and underneath that is the rent comparables. Now, the subject property in this case does have gas pumps. So the comparables I've used this time are different from the previous, as all of these locations have gas pumps. So the first two on the list, 705 Osborne and 1567 Arlington, are Husky gas locations that still have a convenience store as well. And then the bottom two of 120 Keewatin and 404 Edison are 7-Eleven locations. The reported rent per square foot average for those four comparables is $28.52 per square foot. So based on that, I have a recommendation to reduce the assessment. The recommendation is to reduce the assessment from $87,060 to $77,380.
Rent?
The base rent per square foot would be $26, and the overall ARV per square foot would be $28.50, which puts it in line with the comparables, as the average of those is $28.52.
Okay. Justin, are you okay with that number?
Absolutely. It's a little bit higher than what I was going to recommend, but it's reasonable in my opinion.
Thank you very much. Val, do you have any questions?
None, thank you.
Better make sure the math is right, though.
Oh, I will. Item number 8. 1880 Ness. Let us pull up the files first. Or is that the last one, number 7?
No, there's an 8.
There's
Yeah.
another one.
Why can't I find a number 8 here?
The very
File
bottom.
number is 22-4794, 1880 Ness.
Just one second. I'm gonna have to go back to another. Do you have it on yours, Val? Val,
Yes, sir, I do.
you have 1880? Okay, just one second. I gotta go out and back in again because it's not on my download. So I'm gonna go back here and see if I can. I'll just download it over here. Oh, it's because it didn't tick them off, that's why. One second, I won't be long. Matthew, when you're ready.
Thank you. So this is file 22-4794 for the roll year of 2023. Address 1880 Ness Avenue. Business assessment ID 4604. Total annual rental value of $45,360. Premise area of 2,100 square feet. Overall ARV per square foot of $21.60. And again, below that, you can see how that is calculated with a base rent of $19.09. And then under that is the comparables that we're all familiar with for previous properties, with an average reported rent per square foot of $23.93. And again, following that is a picture of the subject property and the comparables. And that is my presentation.
Ryan,
I
questions?
do not have any questions.
Okay. Val, any questions?
None, thank you.
And I've got no questions at this time. Ryan, on with your presentation.
Pulling everything forward from the last few matters, same comparables, medians out at $17.11. Median rate of the leases commencing 2016 to 2021 is $16.41. We believe, rounding it up to about $17 per square foot would be a fair and reasonable rate per square foot, based on actual leases of comparable properties. That is all. Thank you.
Matthew, any questions?
Nope, I don't have any questions.
Monthly. You said, what did you say their actual was for their rent?
Their actuals, I didn't say what the actual was for the subject property. I just said based on the actual lease rates that have been provided within our materials, we're saying $17 is reasonable and fair. It's I don't want to say the middle point, but it's between the median rate of the leases that commenced in 2016 through 2021 and the median rate of all the leases, including the ones in 2020 that commenced in 2022.
Give me 1 second here. I might have one more question. Okay. So you're saying 40,950, correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
It was estimated 435. So why are you saying estimate? Oh, pretty close to the actual though, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I've got no further questions. Val, did you ask your questions or you had none?
No, I'm just looking on his page 8 and I maybe just need some clarification. You've got the selection of rent. It says the return business assessment relied on an estimated base rent of 40,089. So it equates to a rent of 1909 square feet.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and then you came up with the $17. Am I missing something here?
No, the $17, if you go to page 9 or page 9, we've rounded up from the $16 and rounded down from the $17.11.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. That's it for me.
So you're on your your final stuff, Justin, you actually provided the actual was 3506, and you're saying 35.7, and you're using both your comparables and the actual, I guess, eh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Could I ask you a question, Matthew? Did you look at the actual leases on these properties?
Some of those documents, but I mean, it was a lot of legal jargon on there that I honestly did not have the time to scroll through all of those pages from when it was submitted yesterday morning till the hearing this morning. So not on all of them, no.
Yeah, it's just when I know it sounds, I always go to the last page when I read any type of lease to see what the thing is. And on each one of them, that's where the conclusions are usually drawn. Okay. No, I'm good there. Anything in summation, gentlemen?
No, sir. Thank you.
No, I just got to figure out how I'm going to do this. Well, I'm just having a heyday here. I've just got to say it concludes. You think I can find it? There it is down here. We have heard all the items scheduled for this hearing, and this hearing is now adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody's time.
Thank you.
Sorry, we dragged out so much longer.